So guys, this is old Anderson's Pretty Girl Rock, aka Miss Penny. As you guys can see, she is definitely bred. So grateful to have this cross off of her, bred back to National Large Pack Champion and Field Champion Riverland Hercules. Her Penny, 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 Penny. So yes sir. Oh, I'll stand her up here for you guys. You can clearly see she not standing too well. You can definitely see that she's definitely bred. So stay tuned, guys. Tyson Anderson, Mr. Hammer Down. We'll see you when we see you. So guys, some would ask the question of, how do you know this cross is proven? Well, my response would be, I can't say that it's proven, but I can say that it produced us a nice litter of 7, such as this litter right here. I kept 2. I was a certain thing I was looking for, something I was specifically after, and I believe I obtained that through this male right here, being the male of choice, Anderson's Black Bart, aka Pete. Some of you guys has followed his progression and his development through his early stages, and he's still a young male right now. They'll be turning a year old August 28th. I am tickled pink with this dog. Solid dog, big nose, big mouth, good hunt, good foot, head full of sense, and everything. Though I was after females, I did get this female here, and I was able to pick her out of the lineup. Anderson's Briar Country Jackie. I love this dog. I can't say enough about her. Just a solid little female, this Jip is. Solid little female. I like her. I mean, I really do. I kept her in the thick stuff just like I did Pete, bringing her on. They said, well, why didn't you keep more? Well, there was only 2 females and 1 male, and these 2 were exactly what I wanted, exactly how I wanted them to be built, and therefore these were the 2 that I kept amidst the rest. Like I said, they've all got good noses, good mouths. They hunt good. They listen very well. If you guys paid attention to that and to some of the videos of their progression and development, and they're pretty much naturally deer broke. I never had to shock them off of any kind of deer whatsoever. So, I mean, that's that. Tyson, your breeding philosophy, what is it? Well, here it is, my breeding philosophy. My philosophy is this: you need a good foundation of females. I wanted socket to me. International field champion Taylor socket to me. That was the direction I wanted to go into, because I've seen the handful of females like Mr. Gay's Elk Creek's Amazing Grace, Blue Bank's Moon Pie, the field trial champion Money Sunk's Mountain Man's mother, Money Sunk Socket, Money Sunk Racket, all of those different females. And I knew that was something I wanted a piece of. So I went and obtained Hatfield Sing-Along Katie. She was an older female. Some of you guys may remember her, some of you guys may not. She was bred a lot of times before I even obtained her. And I think she was almost 10 years old when I got her. I made 1 cross with this female right here. Beautiful dog, very oversized, wasn't a very fast dog. I think I've got a picture of her somewhere in my phone. Here it is, right here. All right, this is the female that I obtained, Hatfield Sing-Along Katie. This female right here, like I said, I made that 1 cross with her. Out of all the other crosses previous to the cross I made, they were good crosses, but nowhere in comparison to the female that I got out of it. And by breeding her, being out of Good Times Southern Pride, who was a double grandson of socket to me, I bred her back to her half-brother, producing this female here, Anderson Southern Pride. And it was my version of a 50% Good Times Southern Pride cross. And in this, I was after females once again. I mean, that's the goal in my eyes. I'm always after those females. It takes a very special cross. I'm pulled over here doing some paperwork and stuff on the laptop, but so excuse the noise, but that's what I'm always after, is the females. It takes a very special cross for me anyway, to go after straight males, or go after a higher percentile of male dogs, or even just a higher number of selected males. For me, it's always about the gyps. So, I mean, I've seen the producing power in that, even in this female here, Good Time Super Chick, who was out of Good Time Southern Pride's father. It's her half mate. They had different mothers. She was actually out of a direct daughter of Money Sunk Mountain Man, bred back to the Buddy Dog, Pride's father. And I don't know how many are familiar with this female, but they bred her one time she's been bred twice. One time when I sold her to Donnie Campbell, he co-owned her out, with Mr. Brian Atkinson of Ohio, and they bred her back to his field champion, large pack Riverland Samson dog. And out of the Samson and Chick cross produced several or multiple champions in Little Pack. One I know for a fact has obtained her Little Pack Grand Rapid champion title, as well as a AKC Midwest field champion title. This is the female right here. Okay, so I mean, it's proof. The proof is in the pudding that it's there. So, what next, Tyson? Well, I wanted to take that proven family of Sakatumi females, or that female being Pride. She was the only living one that made it out of the litter. I wanted to take her, and I needed to breed her back to something to get me another base of nothing but females, so I can finally bring in my Birch Lake. I was wanting it, but I just didn't have the exact thing I wanted, or the base I wanted at the time to bring in that. So what did I do? I went to Adam Sager's one day, and I saw this dog here, this brute right here, field champion Birch Lake Hector. He's the dog that turned me out. And I saw him as an older finished dog, and I said, you know what? I got to have some of that male right there. I've got to have it. And if I can't get him, I've got to have some of the family. Well, I remember Kenny always saying, if you're going to go to the Birch Lake line, the Birch Lake line, you've got to go with the Pal line of my dogs. If you can get Pal or you can get Black Ball, you're really doing something. So I looked into it. I seen that he was off of Holsworth Magnum Force, who was a direct son of Grampy, and going back on the bottom side to some old Kobe Hill Flora stuff. And then, his mother being a Birch Lake female, I said, I may get into something like that. So Pal, right here, as you see, was the influence I was more so after, because I couldn't obtain, or at least I couldn't find any living or existing black ball dogs. I just couldn't. A lot of people didn't set their sight on him. So I set my sight on Birch Lake Pal. First, needing to establish those females so I can go back into this line. Okay, I got my males lined up. Pretty Boy, boom. Hercules, bam. Hector had just died. I need to make me a cross so I can take to these Birch Lake dogs. I went to a heavy Grampy New York Nick male, whose name I'll leave out because it's not of any importance. I only made that cross one time to obtain a few females that I can go back into the line. It's nothing I wanted to keep doing. So I made that cross. And in that cross, I had 9 puppies. This is the litter. Anderson Southern Pride back to the Grampy New York Nick male. Here's the cross. So I have the cross. I'm looking at these dogs. I'm just blown away. Loving the actions of these dogs. Loving the head motion of these dogs. The listening ability. The smarts. Everything that these dogs possess. I'm just loving it, right? So in the midst of having this, I'm just happy to and so elated to have said, hey, look, I have a 52% Grampy male on top, back to a 49% Sakatumi female on the bottom. This is going to be perfect to solicit one of these gyps right here, one of these bitches back to the Birch Lake line. So what did I do? That's exactly what I did. I took one of these bitches right here, being my very own Anderson Pretty Girl Rock, who was bred to Hercules now, right back over to Birch Lake Pretty Boy 2. So out of that cross, produced this litter right here. If you look at the similarity between both the mother being Anderson's Southern Pride and the Grampy New York Nick Males puppies, and you compare them even after going outside of the family a little bit, back over into the Birch Lake Pretty Boy dog, you'll see the heavy similarity in both litters. They look like it's the same exact litter, but it's not. I had a picture of Pride's litter when she was a puppy as well, out of Katie and Buddy, but I don't know what I did with that. All three crosses right there, 3 generations, each litter looked identical. That same black with the white collar, white tips, white socks, exactly identical. So I said, something is really going on here. And I paid attention to that. I didn't marginalize. I just observed. And I paid attention to what I was seeing right there. So here again, I'm after main females, but I come up with Anderson's Black Bart being a wicked male. Birch Lake Pretty Boy 2 right here. This is the day that I came and bred to him. I went and looked at him. I said, okay, he's 10 years old. He looks good for a 10-year-old dog. I love the way he's bred. I love his breeding. Love his breeding. People say, why didn't you go to Hercules first? Well, I liked Pretty Boy's handful of percentage on Birch Lake, being a little heavier on the Birch Lake side. I was really more so after that because I had all the Grampy I needed at the time. Looking at his pedigree, if you really pay attention to it, Birch Lake Jumper and Birch Lake Diamond. Diamond's directly off of Hector. Okay, there's the Magnum Force and Birch Lake Dolly. Birch Lake Jumper on the top, Pal, there it is. Birch Lake Hummy. That's what I'm after. Pal being off of Lucky. On the bottom, Birch Lake Diamond's mother, Lucy Hill Candy. Field champion Lucy Hill Candy being right off of Lucky as well. This male has about 4 crosses of Lucky in him in, I think, about 5 generations. So I really like that. But then when you compare him over to Hercules, like I said, all the way across the board, he still has that same phenomenal thing. But here's the difference. Hercules' bottom side, Birch Lake, where Birch Lake Diamond is Birch Lake Hummy. And Birch Lake Hummy, if you look, she's directly off of field champion Halfway Creek Hummer and field champion Lucy Hill Candy. Now here's Hercules the day that I bred to him. Fine male. It's just an absolutely fine animal. I take nothing from the dog. I love his conformation. I think I like Pretty Boy's head a little bit better and his tail a little bit better. But that's just if I'm trying to be critical, right? I'm not trying to be critical, but if I were, those would be the small critiques that I would, sort of poke out or point out. And, but yeah, I like him. Now look at his pedigree. Here, Birch Lake Hector, Birch Lake Hummy. We've made that observation on the bottom. But if you look at the top, Birch Lake Hector's, Hector is the half mate to that of Jumper, okay? And then if you look at Hercules' father, Birch Lake Hummy, Hummy is the half mate, Hummy is the half mate to, Hummy is the half mate to Jumper, Birch Lake Pretty Boy 2's father, okay? On the bottom of Pretty Boy, you have Hector here. Hector is the half mate to Pretty Boy's mother. So Hercules is a double uncle to Pretty Boy. But here also on the bottom, field champion Lucy Hill Candy is in the same exact position as that of Pretty Boy's pedigree. Now, some people say pedigrees aren't the navigational map to success. I say that is so far from the truth. It absolutely is. And in order to have that kind of success and succession continuously, you need to have a strong bitch line coming in through the bottom, obviously, to continue to predict and increase your probabilities, or the probability, of outcome. And nothing can be more far-fetched than us thinking that doesn't matter. Here, we've been able to staple exactly what we think we should get: the looks, the build, the coat type, the bite, the bark, the ear, the head, almost to a T. This is almost the exact same pedigree as that of what we just did with Birch Lake Pretty Boy. But it's strengthened in certain areas and it's weakened in certain areas. And when I say weak, I don't mean flawed. I mean just a different offset of how certain dogs within the pedigree are aligned. That's it. So we're bringing it in different angles. This could be a better cross. It can be just as good of a cross. It could be a little bit of a weaker cross, but it's going to be a great cross. I really believe that. So, hey guys, get on board. Look into the description and see exactly how to reserve your pup. We're only going to reserve about 2 or 3. I'm probably going to keep 2 or 3. I don't know exactly how many she's going to have, but she's getting pretty big. She still has 3.5 weeks left. And Penny's not a dog that really swells up a whole lot until about the last, 2 weeks, week and a half-ish. It's like everything just happens, boom. So we're very, very excited as what we're seeing. And I cannot wait. You guys stay tuned, stay tuned, stay tuned. I can't stress that enough. Tyson Anderson, Mr. Hammer Down. We'll see you when Penny has these puppies.